Credit cards are either one of the best financial tools you have, or they're quietly draining thousands of dollars from your life every single year. The scary part? Most people making these mistakes have no idea. I'm going to show you 5 specific credit card habits that are costing the average American over $2,000 a year, and I'll show you exactly what to do instead. Let's start with the one that hits the hardest. Mistake number 1, only paying the minimum. You've seen that little number at the bottom of your statement, minimum payment due $40. And it actually feels responsible. You're not ignoring it, you're paying something, but here's what's really happening beneath the surface. Say you carry a $5,000 balance on a card with a 24% interest rate. That's close to the current national average, by the way. If you only make the minimum payment each month, which usually starts around 2% of your balance, you'll be paying off that debt for over 17 years. And by the time the last payment clears, you will have paid more than $9,000 in total interest on a $5,000 balance. Read that again for me. Listen to that again. You owe $5,000 and you end up handing the credit card company an extra $9,000. That's not a penalty. That's not a fee. That's just the math of making minimum payments on high interest debt. And the card companies are perfectly happy for you to never figure that out. The fix is simple, but it requires actually doing it. Pay your full balance every month if you can. That's the move. If you can't right now, maybe you're working through existing debt, and you pick a fixed dollar amount above the minimum that you can commit to every single month. Even 150 or 200 on a $5,000 balance makes a massive difference. Pull up a debt calculator and put your numbers in. Seeing the interest you save is one of the most motivating things you can do for your finances. Mistake number 2, carrying a high credit utilization ratio. The credit utilization is just a percentage of your available credit that you're actually using at any given time. If you have a $10,000 credit limit across all your cards and you're carrying a $4,000 balance, your utilization is 40%. Simple. And here's why that matters. Utilization makes up about 30% of your FICO credit score. It's the second biggest factor after payment history, and credit bureaus like to see it below 30%. Ideally, if you want a great score, you want to keep it below 10%. So even if you're thinking about being responsible, using your card for everything and planning to pay it off at the end of the month, if your balance is high when the statement closes, that high utilization number gets reported to the bureaus, and your score takes quite a hit every single month. A lower credit score means worse rates on loans, a harder time getting approved for an apartment, and in some industries, it can even affect whether you get hired. The 2 fixes: pay down balances or ask for a credit limit increase. Ideally both. Either one lowers the ratio, you can track your utilization for free on Credit Karma, and it updates weekly showing your score and flag what's hurting you. There's no reason to be flying blind on this. Mistake number 3, not maximizing your reward categories. This one is pure free money that most people are walking away from every single week. Most basic reward cards pay you a flat rate, something like 1.5% cash back on everything you buy. That sounds fine until you realize that a lot of cards offer 3, 4, or even 5% back on specific spending categories, like groceries, gas, dining, streaming, travel. And here's the math behind that. The average American spends around $800 a month on food, plus groceries and eating out. And if you're using a flat 1.5% card for all of that, you're earning $12 a month in rewards. But if you're using a card that pays 4% on dining and 3% on groceries, you're earning closer to $27 a month, and that's $180 a year just from eating. Same purchases, just different card. And most people have no idea what their card actually pays per category. They just swipe the same card for everything and assume it's fine. Take 2 minutes on NerdWallet and look up your specific card. They lay out every card's rewards structure in plain English, based on categories, rates, annual fees, the whole thing. You might genuinely be shocked at what you've been leaving behind. Mistake number 4, paying foreign transaction fees. I know if you traveled internationally even once, you've probably seen this charge show up. It's usually 2 to 3% of every single purchase you make outside the US. So on a $3,000 trip, that's $60 to $90 in fees for nothing, for the privilege of using your card in another country. Kind of absurd. And so what makes this especially frustrating is that there are cards with 0 foreign transaction fees, 0, and many of them have no annual fee either. You just need to know to look for one and switch before you travel. And I know that NerdWallet lets you filter cards by no foreign transaction fees, so you can find one that fits your situation in about 5 minutes. If you travel even once a year, domestically or internationally, this is worth 5 minutes of your time. And mistake number 5, ignoring sign-up bonuses. This is the biggest missed opportunity I see for people in their 20s, and it's not even close. Some of the best travel and cashback cards are handing out sign-up bonuses worth up to, $500 to $1,000, sometimes even more, just for meeting a minimum spend in your first few months. Typically something like $4,000 in the first 3 months. I know that kind of sounds a lot on paper, but when you add up rent, groceries, gas, utilities, subscription, insurance, a lot of people are already spending that. You're not spending extra, you're just routing your normal spending through a new card. And for me, for example, I own the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and they offer welcome bonuses worth to around, I think right now it's $850 or more when redeemed through their travel portal. And I know that the Capital One Venture Card runs similar offers, a strong flat rewards rate plus a sign up bonus that can cover a round trip flight. And these aren't gimmicks, they're real value, and most people in their 20s just never apply because they assume they won't qualify or don't think it's worth the 2 minute effort to see if you actually do qualify. And I know that NerdWallet keeps a running tracker of current bonus offers and required spending thresholds, so you can see exactly what's live before you apply. And one card, right timing, you could have a free flight or a free hotel stay before the year is out. All right, so let's put this all into some action. So here's how you audit your credit cards in under 10 minutes. Open every card account you have. For each one, write down these 3 things: the annual fee, the interest rate, and the rewards rate for your most common spending categories. Then pull up Credit Karma and check your current utilization ratio and your overall score. Now, compare what you're actually earning in rewards against what you're paying in fees and interest. If that math isn't working in your favor, it's time to make a change. And so, if you're building your card stack from scratch, here's the path I'd recommend. Start with one solid, no annual fee cashback card. Use it for everyday purchases, paid in full every month, and let your credit score grow. Once your score is around 700 or above 700, start looking at mid-tier travel cards. The Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Capital One Venture are both strong entry points into the travel rewards world. Good sign-up bonuses, useful perks, and reasonable annual fees that the rewards cover easily if you use the card right. And as I was saying before, I'll get into this again since it's kind of important. You can use NerdWallet to compare what's currently on the table. Bonus offers, change new cards, and what's best for your situation depends on how you actually spend. There's no universal perfect card out there, but there is a perfect card for you, and it takes about 10 minutes to find it. Credit cards do not have to be the enemy here. Minimum payments, high utilization, ignored rewards, and missed bonuses, those are the enemy. Every single mistake we talked about today is fixable, and fixing them won't just feel good, it'll actually put money back in your pocket. And if you guys haven't seen our videos on, 7 things I wish I knew about money at 22, or, how to save $10,000 in 6 months on a lower salary, check those in the description, and, the NerdWallet links will be down there as well. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys.